So do the spirits have names?
Dude, come
Do the
on.
spirits have names, Odin?
Gary,
Okay. Well,
Sophie,
you know.
Andre. Hello, and welcome to Worlds Apart, your favorite bi-weekly world-building podcast. It's been a couple of weeks since we've had the chance to record, actually, come to think of it.
Yeah.
You've been busy. We've been busy.
Yep.
Everything's
Oh,
happening.
man.
How are
Things
you?
are gearing
What's
up.
going on?
Dude, I'm good. We're starting to get ready for convention season. Gen Con panels just got accepted. PAX East is around the corner, so I'm getting so much stuff in order and organized. And, like, everyone's asking me where I'll be, and I'm like, I'll be everywhere to future me's detriment, but including Australia, which I think we talked about on the podcast before. But
I think we briefly touched on it, but Diana will be
man.
visiting for PAX Oz, which is amazing. We're gonna
Got my
have
tickets
board game
now, so it's
nights.
official.
It's going to
Yeah.
be great. Maybe recording in person Worlds
I
Apart.
just want to meet Turnip. That's the real reason
you
I'm coming
will.
down. Fuck the
You will.
convention. I just want to pet a cat.
Fuck the people. Give me
Forget
the cat. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
You're gonna open the door and be like, get the fuck out of the way. Where is he? Where is he?
Wouldn't expect anything less, if I'm completely honest with you. He's adorable, and we love Turnip.
He's the best boy.
Okay, so we're low energy today, right?
Oh yeah, vibing, cozy.
So what are we feeling? Because what are you in the mood for?
So last time we talked, I gave you the concept of creating a disease, and we ended up spiraling outward into something that was more a parasite, but that looked like a disease. And with that, we created a village's problem, an entire like fucking town area underneath the earth, a BBEG, just like a whole mini.
Oh
campaign.
yeah.
What we didn't talk about was the eclipse season that spurred all of that on. Because we were like, oh yeah, we briefly talked about the fact that we'd have like a 3 fucking months period of the year or whatever that's just darkness. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, because I messaged you earlier this week, dude, I had an idea. I can't say it right now because we're not recording. But I had
forgot
an
about
idea.
that. Yes. What is
Yeah.
it?
So I just sort of made a connection
Okay.
with like the eclipse
good.
season and all that kind of stuff. So the general idea that I had, it came down to the pantheon. It came down to gods. But the way I came about the idea is I posted something on my Instagram story, and my buddy Ben messaged me saying like, "This reminded me of you." He sent me something, and I just started rattling off a stupid fucking speech. And in it,
You monologued in Instagram DMs?
I was being dramatic. Have you met
Man.
me?
Yeah, no, fair. Yeah, valid.
Yeah.
I know your fucking Snapchats to me are always just chewing me out for something over the course of like 17 snaps in a row.
It's great. It's a good time. But
Fuck!
to cover it, I'll do it. I did last time too. It's all good.
Shit.
I'll hold the tradition.
Oh, I forgot. I'll do it next time. I promise.
You're fine.
Let's pretend.
You're so fine.
Let's pretend I cracked this fresh can of seltzer water open. Crisp.
Lav, add in a sound effect.
Thanks,
thank you.
Lav. We love you.
Love you, Lav. But, so the idea stemmed from me being a fucking idiot. But it came about of this.
Welcome to Worlds Apart, by the way. This is all that's happened.
We're your hosts, fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But the idea is this. So, obviously when it comes to the gods, there are different kinds of gods. Gods of the sea, sun, earth, yada, 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 yada. What if... So, the base of the idea was that the sun and the sea connected for the first time with the first sunset in a world. And when they
Ooh.
connected, 5 spirits shot out, which were children of the sun and the sea.
Oh.
What if those 5 were the seasons?
Yes! Because it always has to do with like sun cycles and oh my god.
Yeah.
And then the tides already are tied in with like the way the moon works. So the fact that the moon would then be eclipsing the sun for some amount of time would affect the ocean in some way. And well, I mean, maybe not directly, but like that, I can see the connections there. That's fucking good. That's
Yeah.
so good.
And it came from me being a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It was great.
Great.
But I didn't think it could tap into like the seasons and stuff until you just mentioned that we didn't touch on like the seasons itself. So
Yeah, we just left a massive fucking plot hole in our world. But
We
we're
love
coming
that.
back to it. We're fixing it up. Shit, that's cool. So do the spirits have names?
dude, come
Do the
on.
spirits have names, Odin?
Gary,
Okay. Well,
Sophie,
you know.
Andre.
All right. Okay, fair.
Hector.
Wow. Okay. I love the
Um,
Latin representation there. That's good. That's fantastic.
I'm learning. I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
Okay, so they are each because I imagine this will be what we name the seasons, right?
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
So, oh shit. Okay, so we got to come up with something summery, wintry, fally, springy, and then just fucking dark y.
Well, okay, so we've got, like you mentioned, summer, winter, spring, autumn, and the fifth season is the eclipse.
Yeah.
So are these seasons children of the gods?
I think of specifically the sun and moon gods, right?
Yes.
Or sun and ocean gods. So then
Sun and sea.
sun and sea. So yeah, like so they're like demigods in a way, but they're powerful enough. Like they kind of stay away from everything, and they don't really like you can try and worship them, but they won't really give a fuck
Yeah.
because they're fucking forces of nature.
They kind of just like pull their season across when it's time.
Yeah. Oh, it's giving the same vibe as like what are those two wolves in Norse mythology?
Oh, fuck, I should know this.
You should know this.
I should. The names, I instantly went to Fenrir, but that's...
The good one, the best boy.
Good is a strong word.
Dude, wait, what if we make these spirits animals? They don't have to be.
Yes. Yes.
Huh. Cool. Okay.
Can we make the Eclipse one, like, some form of dragon? Because I feel
Yes.
like he wraps around the fucking sun during the season.
And just like shields it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Okay, so that means we have a should we do like representation from a bunch of different animal
Cultures and stuff,
subsections?
or-
So like a bird, a fish, a mammal of some variety, oh god, what is that? I mean, a dragon is kind of a reptile.
Kind
I
of. So when you said representation stuff, do you mean like
So like
traditional
each
creatures
like
in like
Yeah.
in like real world stuff, or
or we could also have them be fantasy creatures, so maybe like a dragon and like a
That would be
phoenix
cool.
and then like a
okay.
okay.
All right. So what do
I
you
feel like
think
I
of
should be
when
writing this down.
we'll get to it? Lav got.
Okay.
I'm going to call you out here. Entity edits. Lav got mad at us in episode 1 and 2 because we were looking down and writing.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're building
Sorry,
a fucking
we
world over here.
had to
lad.
take notes.
Christ.
Where is she?
I'll do it. I'll read the transcription. She's like gonna fucking sneak up on us with a knife.
Okay. So when you think about summer, what animal springs to mind? We'll go season by
Well,
season.
Usually, and I know this isn't super common of an association, I kind of think of foxes.
Yeah, just sun, hot, running
Yeah,
around,
like
all that kind of stuff.
just a little guy, just kind of existing, you know, walking into people's backyards, playing on their trampolines, like all those viral videos ago. That'd be my primary. I know, and I always think of like when it comes to fall, more like deer and things like that, because that's when people go hunting.
Classic
right?
stag, kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys have deer in Australia, or is it all just kangaroos?
I think it's mainly I've personally never come across one.
Whoa, holy shit.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
What a concept. Oh my god. I almost ran into 3 the other day.
Really?
Okay. No. But they do wander around here quite often.
Fair.
Anyway.
Well, okay, so we have those. Did you want to go with the mythological creatures, though, like our D&D monsters? Do we need a monsters manual right now?
Or we could come up with one.
You want to create entities of seasons?
Literally always. Do I want to create
Yeah,
entity? Yes. I have a degree.
Can these things, these season entities, can they be used as like deities? Can like people be warlocks or clerics or
Yeah.
followers of said season entity?
Oh yeah, 1000%. I think you
Yeah.
can like channel them and like almost summon a spirit of them or like a smaller version of them to like aid you in battle and things like that.
Quick side tangent, because we need to cover this so we know this really quick. Our gods, our pantheon, our deities, all that kind of stuff, do they roam the earth?
Ooh. Okay, the way I always rule it is that they have an avatar form that they tend to keep like somewhat hidden that holds like a good amount of their power, but not all of their power, so they can wander the earth and like
Okay.
it's almost like an episode of Undercover Boss where you wander into your priest's temple and you like go talk to your own saint and you're like, yeah, I'm a new convert, and he turns to the camera and he's like, this place is a shithole, I hate it here.
Yeah.
How are they running
This
things?
god sucks. Like you have
Yeah.
no idea. Like
And so
okay. So
yeah.
we have that avatar power. Do we have like a Mount Olympus? Or is there like a place in this world that is celestial or for the gods, where the gods reside, and they can come down and enter these avatar forms, kind of things?
I don't know if it would be something along the lines of Mount Olympus, only because I feel like there'd be, especially with the way that like fantasy worlds tend to go, be a lot of fucking infighting and a lot of minor and major gods that like someone might just take the opportunity to just like, stab a guy next to them and cause some war. And
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
feel like the gods would have their own domain for sure and their own like home plane of existence, their own little hangout, temple, whatever. But maybe they go on to an entirely separate plane of existence that no one can physically control. And
Okay.
that's like neutral territory, but it's also so big that if someone were to try and sneak attack someone else on it, you'd have to be really fucking lucky or careful about it.
Okay.
So you can't just like call a meeting and then everyone just shows up to the same place without some moderation happening or
Got it.
some power keeping them in check.
Perfect. Okay, so we have avatars that roam from time to time. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, back to the original conversation then. Just so we
Yes.
have that covered and that sorted. So we
Yeah.
don't have people yell at us. Please. Don't yell
Oh
at us.
man, can you imagine like the spirit of winter like rising out of a fucking lake and like blessing your sword and just like walking back across the ice and then dipping it? Oh my god. It'd be so fucking cinematic, dude.
It would be incredible. And like, Spirit of Winter, I feel like, is snake-esque, but like covered in
Ooh.
feathers. Or like a thick coat, because winter.
Interesting. So you think like something that does it fly, like kind of like worming its way through the air? Or are you thinking like
I
crawls,
think this thing slithers.
slithers? Okay.
Slithers.
And it's covered in feathers.
Fur?
Would it
Feathers or
have-
fur?
Feathers of fur. Oh, what if it had like I mean,
you
we
got?
could have it have both, where it's got like a couple plumes of like almost like a mane, or almost the same way that some
Ooh.
snakes have like the cobra style of like flared bit of skin that they can use.
They
as,
just
like,
have like
intimidation.
a feathered thingy.
Yeah.
For
And then like
crown?
maybe some tail feathers. Yeah, yeah, kind of
Crown?
like that.
Yeah.
And then everything else is like fur. Would it be
That
what
would be
color?
really cool. I feel like it's going to be that beautiful, like, white/blue turquoise
Just
concoction.
pristine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
think that's what that entity is. That entity is pretty. It's yeah. And like when
Especially
it
because-
flies, it has like mist that trails behind it, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then it's like, oh my god, do these things speak? Do you think? Do they have like, can they telepathically talk to humans? Or is it like one of those things where it makes like a slithering sound and you just kind of like get the gist of what it's trying to say?
I feel like it has the ability to telepathically speak, but I feel like it sort of just communicates through those weird groans or growls or whatever until it trusts you, I guess, or if it needs to talk.
Gotcha. So if it finds you worthy, and that's
Kind of.
like a big deal.
It could also just be like, you are beneath me and not worth my time right now, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Not really you are not worthy. It's just I don't care. So,
Dude. So if that's the spirit of winter, we could come up with like some great fucking. Once we figure out a name for it, we can come up with like some almost local sayings.
yeah.
Like, oh, the great snake is, fucking descending this morning, just to say that it fucking snowed overnight or something like that.
Yeah, flew over the sky and gave us a storm.
Or like children's tales and things like that. This is where you get into the
Yeah.
minutia of lore. It's so good. It's so fun.
It's like, did you ever? I don't know. It's a big statement in Australia. But we had the rainbow fish and the rainbow snake storybooks.
The rainbow fish and rainbow snake.
I
I've had the
believe
hungry,
so.
hungry caterpillar, and that's the
We had
closest
that,
I.
but no,
Oh,
but
okay.
the rainbow fish and the rainbow snake, and I do apologize if I'm getting this incorrect. I will read up on it. But they were old Aboriginal tales of like before white people came and fucked everything up. So,
Oh, yeah,
but
as they do.
yeah, but they're Aboriginal tales, and they are beautiful, and how they're drawn, they're absolutely stunning. And yeah, are you looking at the art?
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page.
Yes.
It's pronounced Yerlunger or something like that.
Okay.
I think the name of the rainbow serpent,
Yes.
considered the grape father.
Mhm.
It's got different names for different clans, but
Yeah.
man. Oh, and now I'm just looking at like iridescent snakes.
Yes.
Oh, like that
But yeah,
oil slick
like
vibe.
the Legends of the Rainbow Serpent and like the story, the children's stories written from them are just beautiful and
Oh,
really details like the lore of the land and traditions and all that kind of stuff. So being able to meld that kind of stuff into the story of our winter entity would be
yeah.
awesome, and I feel like it would be a really cool representation as well. So
Yeah. Okay. Oh, amazing. I'm stoked. Okay, so if that's winter, what do you think of for fall?
fall, something big.
Oh yeah? You think like
Because when I think about fall, I think about things beginning to go into hibernation.
mhm.
So I think of this thing as like this thing's big and prepped to like look after things that are going to sleep.
So like a bear?
Kind of like a bear.
Okay.
Something big like a bear.
But protective and like maternal.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. So maybe a bear.
A guardian, almost.
Ooh. Would it be like armored almost?
It could be. It could have like a natural armor to it. We could have a tree ant,
Oh, I like
and
that.
he wakes up when his leaves begin to fall, and when all his leaves are gone, he goes to sleep.
Interesting. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And then there's like could be legends about the way that the roots kind of dig into the world a little bit in the off seasons and like prepare for growth and things like that. Oh, that'd be great.
He could. We could have a thing like the moving forest, where people believe the trees move each season to
Oh
different
yeah.
locations. Because when he wanders through, that gives the ability for trees to reroot and change dynamics and all that kind of stuff.
That'd be cool.
Hmm.
Oh. That's just kind of cute. I like the concept of fall being entwined with like maternal instincts and like protection and coziness.
Yeah.
Like peak cozy vibes for sure.
100%.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I've given you a winter snake
Oh,
and a sleepy tree.
got it.
How do you feel? What's summer to you? You mentioned a fox.
I mentioned a fox. I think of like, oh man, foxes, but also fish tend to pop up a lot in the summertime for me, especially because I live around so many lakes and right, like so many people go fishing. I keep thinking of like salmon almost, but
Like a
maybe it's
big
like
ass fish.
a giant fucking fish of some variety surrounded by like smaller will-o'-the-wisp type spirits, the same way that sharks have like those like sort of coexisting symbiotic smaller fish that kind of feed off of their leftovers following them around everywhere.
Right.
And maybe it's a maybe it's got something to do with like I almost kind of want to mix in the whimsical nature of like summertime where everyone's going out and having fun and like
Hmm.
focusing on themselves, taking a break from work, um, along with the vibe of food and kind of like not in the same way as like preparing for fall, but more just like the way that a fish provides food to people and to other, they fertilize things and like,
Okay.
fishing species like bears and things like that would go after salmon. So I kind of want to work that in somehow. Maybe it could be a fish that's like seemingly predatory.
Okay.
This is my weakness. I don't know a lot about fish. My
About
zoology degree
fish?
was 100% things that walk on four legs.
All right.
Um,
Let me double check. So, a fish that seems predatory, right?
Yeah, maybe it's got like spikes almost the same way a lionfish does. However, they're made of something else. Like they appear to be made of metal or something like that. Or maybe they appear to be made of pure sunlight.
Ooh.
And it's got like those big rays and they stretch impossibly long. So instead of just being like, a couple inches away from the body, since this fish is huge, the rays extend out basically as far as you can see.
That's actually a really good idea. Have you heard they're ugly-esque looking fish, but they're fucking huge, and they grow. I think the biggest one is like 22 feet, like caught, I believe.
Shit.
But
Is it a catfish?
alligator gar. They
I've
are
never heard of this.
huge, but they have like a long snout with razor sharp teeth.
Oh.
But like they have these really long bodies where you could have these wisps of light flowing off of them.
Yeah.
They are fucking huge and they look intimidating as fuck.
He kind of looks cute, honestly. I like the little snoot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got a little boob snoot?
So maybe something like that where it moves in a very eel-like fashion, just kind of like, almost ribbon-like through the air. And along its entire back, it has those sorts of rays of sunshine coming out.
Yeah.
The teeth are... Yeah, I mean, they'd be there, but they're pretty small. It's mostly for self-defense, honestly.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just surrounded by its buddies.
It was surrounded by their buddies. Give me 1 second. Because I love the idea of the sunlight flowing through it. There is, and I'm sorry to bring it to this, and this I promise I won't mention it as often.
Oh no!
But Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Okay. Here we go.
There is a legendary fish in this game called Chi-Yu. If you type in CHI-YU,
Okay.
Pokemon. Is this the kind of vibe you're looking for when you say the coloring and the sunlight rays and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, exactly. Like that sort of like reddish, yellowish tone. This thing looks like a goldfish.
Yeah.
Except with some
He's the best boy.
massive fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So we could have an alligator gar-esque looking thing with this kind of color scheme and give it that dim glow. So like you could catch sighting of this entity in the summertime swimming up a river just by the glow in the water as it passes by. And people would mistake it for like a sun ray every now and then.
Exactly. It looks like it's the sun reflecting off a lake surface, then it like moves, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? I also just love how this guy Chi-Yu's fucking tail breaks off into a bunch of different like, sort of
Flames.
3 different flames. Yeah, if we had that too, but there was like, countless numbers of them, and they always shifted and melded in with each other, and then split apart again, and the tail's just like constantly moving.
Kind of like an octopus. Like he has an octopus tentacles at the end that all come into one tail or can split off and fucking propel through the water.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm happy to rock with that. That's fucking cool.
Cute. Now I just want to look at Pokemon.
I will. If you ever want to learn,
converting me.
This is where it begins. This is how it starts, and then you're gonna start collecting Pokemon cards, and it's gonna be a good time.
They also have a fucking isn't one of these Pokemon a literal ring of keys?
Yeah, Klefki.
And you're just gonna nod and be like, yeah, that's normal for this.
Yeah. You would find it adorable. Type in Klefki. I dare you.
How do you spell? Is that like K or a C?
K, I believe. Momentary pause, audience. I'm introducing Diana to
Yeah,
Pokemon.
this thing looks like a power outlet.
Yeah, he's
Except
adorable.
it can unlock your fucking car. I feel like this is... I miss the animals. Oh shit, they have a Klefki keychain? Never mind, it's marketing. I appreciate it. I respect
Bang on. Alright, so back to world building.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our Winter Snake.
Mm-hmm.
We have our Treant Guardian, or a roaming tree. And we have Chi-Yu, aka our sunfish.
Yeah.
So who are we missing? Spring.
Spring. Shit, spring is hard because there's a lot of different animals that I mean, my go-to is to think of like a rabbit.
My go-to was a bird.
A bird would be way better because then you could go like bird of paradise with it and do fucking literally whatever the fuck you want and it'd be plausible. Oh my
See,
god.
I'm a little bit scorned by birds in springtime though, because we have magpies.
Oh yeah, and you guys get fucking attacked by them, right?
Yes, unless you form a bond with them beforehand, which I love doing. I had a back when I lived in New South Wales. I had a little bird I called Rune, Rune, and I
Oh,
would
that's
feed
cute.
him, and he wouldn't attack me during spring. Instead, he would just kind of fly up and land on me, and I loved him. Um,
What?
Magpies
That's
are
cute.
very, very loving creatures if you gain their trust. They
Oh
stick
shit.
to routine and everything. Like, he knocked on our door so that he would be fed at a specific time.
And your guys is wait, October, PAX Aus, spring? I can I'm gonna come down there and I'm gonna befriend all your guys' fucking magpies. I'm gonna bring
I
so
will.
many I'm gonna bring so many little treats.
I want to get a birdhouse in our like on our backyard veranda to see if I can make friends with a bird this year because I didn't get to last year. So, but
Ah, that's cute.
we could go bird for spring, big bird boy.
I like that.
And what were you saying? Birds of paradise? Sorry, what were we?
Yeah. A bird of paradise. Are you familiar with the concept of a bird of paradise?
I'm gonna look at you confused again.
Great. So a bird of paradise is basically, you know, those really pretty birds that you see on nature documentaries that have the like extremely intricate like mating ceremonies and really bright feathers. It's like
Yes.
peacock vibes, except they're small and can actually like fly properly, decently. Birds of paradise are like full on. They look like Pokemon. They look
Oh,
unreal. If you Google fucking
oh,
pictures of them, they look like plants.
birds of
Um,
paradise. Oh,
yeah.
they are good. What the fuck?
It might also give you the plant called the bird of paradise, but like these are
Actually, yep. I think that's what I'm looking at.
oh yeah, you're like, wow, this is a fucked up looking bird. It's like,
It's like,
just a
dude, it
fucking
looks like
plant.
a birds of paradise bird.
Yes.
There you go. Oh, I love this. It's like a brown one with a yellow top, but it has like two tail things coming out the
Yeah.
top. That's
Their tails
gorgeous.
especially get really like intricate and they look almost like strings. Just like little curly strings.
Why is this like? There's one with that looks like it's screaming at me.
Yes. I think I know which one you're looking at.
He's
It's
got like
very
the blue
famous for
mustache
doing
with
that.
the yellow
Yeah.
beak.
Yup.
Okay.
That's the very famous one that does like that really big dance where it fluffs up all its feathers and looks like a cone.
So he's a handsome man.
He's a very handsome man.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe something like that. Oh, maybe we can make a myth so that like if you leave like shiny things out in your property, if you decorate your yard with shiny things, that it'll attract like the sun spirit or the spring spirit to bless your garden.
Yo, that's really cute.
That's adorable because like they, especially like Bowery bears and things like that, will absolutely love collecting colorful bits of plastic and trash and things like that. Um, I
I'm
think that'd
loving.
be awesome.
I'm loving how we're building up these like four guardians. Like, yeah, they're just loving and the seasons and really nice. And then we're gonna get to the
Yeah.
eclipse dragon.
And it's gonna be like
And
lock
it's
your
gonna-
fucking doors. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we want to run with a bird. What color scheme are you feeling? Do you have like a sort of idea in mind?
I think inherently it would have camouflage abilities, but if it actually like properly revealed itself, all this like mottled green would kind of turn into, I want to say, and this is gonna be dumb, kind of bright pinks a
Okay.
little bit, because I don't see a lot of pink in nature very much, and I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Or like pinks and kind of like very light blues, maybe
Okay.
mottled with a little bit of yellow, but mostly pink.
When you say pink, are you talking like flamingo pink, like bright ass fucking pink?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
but with really long tail feathers.
Really like okay. Fuck yeah. There is I feel like you will love him because he's kind of adorable. I'm gonna shoot it to you on Discord.
Is it another Pokemon?
It's not a Pokemon this time, no. But I'm assuming because we could have this kind of boy, but just make him big. But he's kind of adorable.
Oh, what is that? Guys,
Uh,
ladies and gents, we'll flash this up on the screen for the YouTube audience, but
It's a
Odin's showing
pink-
me a picture of a pink, very blobbish looking bird with what looks like a very bright pink head.
Yeah, he's about the size of a sparrow by the looks of it in this.
Yeah, he's got a little finch beak.
Yeah,
Little
but
small.
he's got like a fluorescent pink head and his wings are sort of like pinkish gray and his stomach and like his torso to his stomach is kind of flamingo pink, we'll say.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah?
I think it's like screams springtime too.
It screams pink.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm having her on. And what kind of... Do you want to give him, like, the shoestring tail feathers that you mentioned? Or what kind of tail feathers are you thinking?
I think that the thin vibe is good. I think maybe like it would have 5 different tufts that kind of like inherently curl around, almost the same way that a have you seen an in like a butterfly's proboscis? How it's like
Yes.
usually like curled up. Yeah, so it's like kept pretty
Oh.
tightly close to its body in a spiral, but when it's communicating with someone or trying to use like its, tail feathers as almost prehensile limbs, it'll unfurl them and like use them to kind of like whip around and make like a
Or when
big
he gets
display.
excited.
Yeah, like wags its little tails.
Yeah. I feel like our spring entity is just a ball of sunshine.
Just like whimsy and like
Yep.
just joy all the time.
Yeah.
And then the dragon's gonna fucking
Yeah, don't think about that right now. We're happy right now. Okay, so we have our winter snake. We have our autumn tree. We have our summer fish
Indeed.
and our spring burb.
Or burb.
Burb.
Yeah.
Okay, so
God.
we have our happy seasons. Our loving, caring about their job,
They're just here to have
Consistent.
fun.
consistent seasons.
hmm
So the dragon, like,
Yeah. God, what if the reason the rest of the season just like fuck off is because they're just terrified of the dragon? So like weather-wise anything could happen.
okay,
And then oh man, and then it like curls up around the fucking sun, eclipses it entirely. Oh man. Oh goodness.
because we could make this lore heavy if we wanted to. Because this dragon, when it was born with the first sunset or sunrise or whatever we're going with, what if it was just pure evil from the start and tried to wreak havoc on the world? And
Oh.
the sun and sea captured it
Uh-huh.
and held it until a deal was made. I don't fucking know. Whether, like,
So the sun
like,
and
you're
sea
allowed to go
capture-
outside for 3 months of the year. Like,
And maybe every single year it tries to wrap itself around the sun, knowing that the sun is kind of the ultimate source of all like food and life in the world. And it's like going straight for the fucking jugular. It knows that if it blocks out the sun for long enough, the world will crumble. And every year the other spirits get together and the sun and sea get together again, and then they kind of like lock it away. But every single year it tries to use its free time to like learn more and more about how it could potentially get out for good, which is a potential apocalypse level plot line. If like something happens to even one of the other spirits, then maybe as a whole they're not powerful enough to lock it away anymore.
Jesus. Okay. My question is, where is he for the rest of the year?
Underneath the ocean, you think?
Just like sleeping, or
Maybe like forced into a godly equivalent of a coma,
okay.
or some such.
What if the son and sea got divorced?
Oh,
and
you're working in a divorce plot line?
listen. It's fine. No, but like, what if the sun and sea god went their separate ways due to disagreements about this dragon?
Oh, it's like we don't know how to handle this fucking problem child, so we're gonna just leave.
Kind of. How can I explain this? So, if this thing was born between the two of them, burst out of the first sunset, was pure evil, one of them thought they could change its mentality or its nature and wanted it to become a beautiful season that gave the ability for new things to grow and change, something that was never heard of before.
Yeah.
While the other was like, this thing is killing everything. Because, I don't know. Because if this thing wraps around the moon and the sun, that would fuck with the sea.
Yeah. So maybe the sea was the one who like wanted to just keep it fucking under wraps and
Yeah.
under guard for forever.
But the
And maybe
sun,
it's like their fucking visitation rights. Like it's like, all right, go live with your
Jesus.
mom for 3 months.
kind of, yeah. But but I don't know, because gods are weird.
Mm-hmm.
Gods are strange. They have their own agenda. They don't give a fuck because they're gods.
Yeah.
So what if for 3 months the sun holds the dragon to try and prove that it can be good?
And is like waiting for an opportunity for the dragon to, of its own volition, like let go of the sun and like be willing to not destroy havoc or wreak havoc on the world.
Kind of, but at the same time, because of the sun's being blocked out, all this darkness is rising.
Mm.
Because we have our parasite that comes above ground and rips things to shreds. All the creatures and deities that can't walk in the sunlight, who usually hunt in the darkness, come out for 3 months. So what if the sun is trying to prove that this dragon can be good and good things can come of its season, but it's just not.
Yeah.
And hasn't been.
That's intense. So the dragon is just like fucking indignant, like does not give a shit. And does it have any particular feelings towards the things that come out of the darkness, do you think? Or is it just like, as long as the things that live in the light are dead, I don't care? It'll all crumble eventually? Or do you think it like thinks of them as its children?
That's tough, because what do you think this dragon's mentality is? What would you say?
I mean,
this thing shot out of a sunset. What's its first thought? Go.
Oh man. I think all it knows and all it prefers is what comes after the sunset immediately, which would be darkness. And so I think it has a favor towards anything that's in.
Damn, that was poetic, dude. Well done.
Was it? Oh shit,
Yeah,
solid.
All
Yeah,
it knows is what comes after the sunset. Oh my god. She's
I mean,
a
if you think
poet.
about it, it's probably never really experienced the wonders of daytime because it's been locked away for, the other rest of
Kept
the
beneath
fucking
the
year.
sea in the darkest depths.
Mm-hmm. And so maybe it just assumes that that's like the superior way of living, and so it enjoys things that come out of the darkness and wants to see them thrive, especially if it lets the other seasons makings and the other seasons like children fucking get torn apart and prove that he's like the ultimate
He's strongest.
spirit. Yeah.
Is he like the eldest kid?
Oh man. I think so. I think like the oldest child syndrome, except like it's a fuck up as opposed to like being a perfect student.
Yep.
And every other
I
child that
was
came
meant
after
to be
is like,
great.
yeah, and they're like, I'm not related to him.
Yep.
Aw.
We don't talk
Never
about
met that
him.
man before in my life. Yeah.
Because that could be a really cool like cosmic event. Like, because if this dragon is released for 3 months to be with the sun, hey, have you seen Pirates of the Caribbean? Remind me.
Ages ago.
Do you remember the Green Flash?
Oh yeah, where it was like a thing where you went out into the ocean and you had to sit in a certain spot and wait for an exact like moment, and the green flash happened. You had to tilt your boat upside down or some shit.
Kind of. It's when a soul returns to the material plane.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we could have our own little cosmic event of when this dragon is released and then put back.
Interesting.
Where maybe the sun goes to set and then doesn't.
And just like hovers there.
And sits on the horizon.
Oh, and maybe like a black plume of like smoke or almost like an asteroid falling to the earth, except in reverse, shoots out of the ocean, meets the sun, and then inky blackness just starts to spread.
Or that red dusk-esque lighting takes over.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. Like, you know when you can see rain coming towards you?
As like a sheet of like...
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a sheet of darkness or whatever, just heading...
That would
like,
be fucking terrifying.
That just travels across the fucking ocean.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love that. But what does it look like when it gets trapped back again? Just the reverse?
It could look like a wave swallows the sun for a moment.
Oh, I like that. So, like, maybe the tides kind of, like, pull back, unusually far.
Yeah,
And,
like a tsunami-esque kind of vibe, and then it just engulfs the sun for a moment, and then seas return to normal.
Shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then the sky just, like, what? Does it go into nighttime? Or does it kind of, like...
I feel like it would. The sun would set for the first time in months.
Oh, that's sick. Man. So then how do sailors feel about the fact that, like, the dragon is kind of technically kept under the sea? Do they have, like... They've got to have crazy myths about that.
There's myths, there's shanties, there's all of it.
Dude, those shanties would go so hard.
Yep.
Holy fuck.
Yep.
Oh.
If
I feel
there's
like
anyone...
I need to get Chase Noseworthy on this.
That's what I was about to say. If there's any musicians... Wes, if you're listening.
Wes, buddy.
If you're listening and you want to write a shanty about a dragon trapped under the sea for 12 months and then is released to an eclipse for 3 months.
Jesus.
He wants to destroy everything, Wes. It's pretty cool, Wes.
Wes. Arcane Anthems, if you're listening.
Also, check out Arcane Anthems. Phenomenal.
Please do. He's wonderful.
Incredible
on every
person.
level. He's like one of my favorite people. Good bean.
Good bean. Okay. So that's our seasons, dude. We got 5 of them.
Shit. Okay. So then all of these seasons, all these spirits would have their own almost like worshippers in a way, but it'd be almost like worship of nature is. So it's not a specific god. Maybe they don't have necessarily specific temples, or they might, but it's like, the animals of the world inherently, like, deep down in their souls feel some sort of attraction towards their respective spirits. And, like,
Yes.
Druids occasionally come in and have, a chosen spirit that they feel embodies them.
Would there be druids of the dragon?
Yeah. Oh, 1,000% yes. And they'd be so fucking badass. I would make that character in a heartbeat, dude. Holy shit.
Well, you're a druid,
man.
main, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
We can make a
gotta
whole
mix it up
subclass
somehow.
off of that shit, dude.
Yeah. Oh my god, the druid of the fucking...
Druid of the eclipse?
Yeah. Oh, man. He's so cool.
God, that'd be kind of crazy. Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, so we sort of touched on... We didn't really touch on what the tree looks like, and we didn't really touch on what the dragon looks like.
Yeah, let's go back to the tree before we go
We'll
to
go
the
back to
dragon.
because we got about 20 minutes, so we can crush this.
Yeah, easy.
Easy. Okay, so tree. Autumn. Guardian. Roams the forests. Makes trees get up, boogie, and move around. What's the kind of vibe? What do you think? Is he, like, ancient-esque?
Oh.
He a big boy or a little boy? Is he a bush running around?
He's just a little fucking like a twig.
Just moving through the forest real quick.
Yeah. It's just someone... Now I'm just thinking about, like, some fucking mystical weed plant. Some fucking cannabis that's just spritching around.
That would be incredible.
We have to make ye old weed at some point. Every world's got to have drugs. We got to have a drug episode. Oh my god. We already did a parasite episode.
Didn't we... we created, like, magma or something, didn't we, at one point? I think we called it magma.
Oh shit, did we?
I think so. We created a drug at one point.
We created the rage thing that, like, mages get.
The blubber.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, we created blubber. That's a drug.
Yeah.
Like...
That is a drug. It's like, it's a fucking, it's mage Adderall, I think is what we
Yeah.
remembered it as. Oh, go watch that episode if you haven't seen it already, folks. But,
Ew, potion of blubber. Ugh! Anyway, sorry.
Oh my god, it would be so thick. It would just, like,
it'd be
you
like
put it into a
thick in
potion
water.
vial, and it would just, yeah. Ugh. For the tree spirit, I feel like it would maybe get reborn. It would always have to be a tree, but maybe, like, kind of ages, and then when it gets so ancient that it can't exist anymore, it finds a new host as a spirit, and then, like, grows into that host or something.
Oh, I like the idea of, like, because he could be like the wind. He travels through the trees. That's really cool. I like that idea, actually. So one season he could be like a big ass oak tree. The other he could be
like a fucking willow, just
like a willow. Yeah, he could be a bush if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
And then
he
maybe
seemed
like,
playful.
Yeah, it's just like kind of like, oh man, Especially if it's like a roaming forest. I
Mhm.
imagine being playful would be a pretty big part of it. Of just like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go fuck with these elves over here. I'm gonna go move over there
Can
for a sec.
Can you imagine like a city going to sleep one night that's just in open plain field, so they've got all bases covered, they can see over every horizon, they all go to sleep, and then one morning they wake up and there's a forest.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just like, huh? Like,
But at the same time, there are probably druids that dedicate themselves to studying where the tree is going to resurrect next, or like embody
oh,
next, and trying to
100%.
like develop the perfect environment. And at the same time, if the tree, if they recognize that like yield climate change, or something is happening in a certain area, the dragon's influence is starting to take over, some other season's influence is getting a little too strong, then the tree spirit can't embody that area anymore, and it's like your potential hosts get smaller and smaller in your pool of potential.
Ooh,
And so that's like maybe a potential another apocalyptic scenario that could lead to that season getting weak enough that the dragon comes out, and then like, oh man, it all connects together.
dude, that's awesome. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Is there like some defining feature that it has all the time where it's like you can look at this tree and you can tell that it's the spirit?
I mean, he could have like an acorn that always grows on him or something if we want to be like classic tree. But, what have you know plants? You kill them a lot.
Wow. Wow. That one's perfectly healthy right there.
For now.
Ignore this one. That one's fine.
But have you heard of that vine that like wraps around trees to survive?
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of parasitic vines.
Yeah. So the entity itself could just be a parasitic vine that takes host of a tree for that season.
And then like kind of makes that tree get up and move and communicate with people
Yeah.
as needed. And dude, can you imagine it like growing incredibly quickly up the trunk of a tree and forming like a face out of its own vines?
Yeah.
Something? Oh
Yeah.
man, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
That'd be
And that would give him the ability to move and change through different trees, like you mentioned.
yeah.
So a parasitic vine kind of dude
Mhm.
who could also
And maybe
just take
it's-
place of the vine himself and just become like a fucking humanoid-esque looking thing made of vines
Some
if
guy.
you wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, like a Spriggan sort of thing.
Yeah.
Ah, that'd be cool.
I like
And then I imagine there's got to be some lore about how its roots actually go so deep that it like crosses the entire world or something like that. The same way people talk about mycelial networks, but it's just like this one tree spirit's roots. And then people say that's where it lives. It's just like in its own root structure for the rest of the year that it's not, that it's like dormant and things like that.
Would it know Kato?
It would fucking love Kato.
Is that our first connection? Of
It probably is, yeah.
that's
Oh
our
shit,
first
that's so
connection
cool.
of like different entities. That's really cool.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But yeah, it would know Kato because it would, if it's a vine in it, because I feel like this thing would burrow to move around a bit too.
Yeah.
Earth Titan, Earth element, or like nature-esque thing. Yeah.
100%. I think that tracks. I think that fits the fall aesthetic as well, honestly.
Yeah. That entity would love the Sundial Mountains.
Yeah,
It's just full
Oh.
jungle.
it is. It's like dense fucking. They have the best tree forests out there, I bet. Okay, so that's the tree entity. What
Dragon.
about the dragon? Yeah.
What color scheme? Because I'm thinking like red, purple.
Oh, it's giving like evil anime character vibes. I love it. But like the purple is like very like almost like cosmic sort of like spacey purple, like a really
Yes.
like almost like when people have a pavement that they call ultraviolet, but it's obviously not actually ultraviolet because we can see it, but it's like that deep purple.
Yeah. I kind of see it like it gets the purple from being trapped underneath the sea, and it gets the red by wrapping around the sun. Kind of.
Yeah.
It just sort of blends into each other really well.
So then maybe its attacks, if it attacks anything, are all like mostly red because it's like sapped power from the sun and kind of twisted it. Oh.
If we're running off that kind of thing, it would definitely have like fire abilities, I'm assuming, from the sun, like,
I think so.
or like radiant if we wanted to. But if it's something that's like been crushed beneath the sea, I feel like this thing would be long, like kind of like an ancient, like the traditional Chinese dragons that have a very long, the long tail and long body and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's adapted to being underneath crushing weights, where it uses crushing to its ability as well. So if it wraps around you, it will
Oh,
just crush.
that's cool. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Does that mean it? I mean, it would still have to have wings in order to get up to the sun. And so maybe it has wings that are just like particularly well, like almost like really sleek, like its scales are unusually small and tight together.
Hmm.
And its wings can tuck really close into its body. So it can kind of like dive really quickly if it needs to.
Kind of like razor-esque kind of wings, like can slice through anything because it's moving so quickly.
Yeah, that'd be cool if it used its wings as like a physical attack as opposed to its claws.
Yeah. Like this thing could slice through a mountain if it wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So cool.
Okay, cool. So red and deep purple kind of vibe
Mm-hmm.
is dangerous as fuck. What kind of scaling do you want them to have? Because like we have just your traditional scales. We have like more elemental s kind of dragons who have like rocks or protrusions or like
Oh,
horns.
true.
Like what kind of do you want this thing to be made of? Like bone spikes? Like what kind of
Oh.
what kind of
Do you
aesthetic?
think it would have like coral that it's
Ooh,
like cultivated
like
over time?
barnacles and shit.
Yeah, and like it's just covered in them, but the barnacles are kind of like a so maybe it can harness the power of the sun and then like somehow has they have like symbiotic barnacles that can tap into the sun's power
Hmm.
and like shoot it out as like little jets from its body.
Yeah, this thing could also have two forms.
Oh shit. That'd be cool. Oh my
So
god, can you
like,
imagine it having like a second form where it's like horns or whatever, or like twice as long and starts to like branch off, or like antlers and shit like that?
well, if it's for two form, if this thing is compressed by the sea where it's like held down for so long, barnacles and stuff would just cultivate on it. So it would have like extra armor due to the barnacles and coral growing on it. But when it shoots out and wraps around the sun, those things just melt away and reveal
Yeah.
like a beautiful red fur or like a red and purple fur or something like that.
I like that. I love the concept of a dragon having fur too, because I feel like that's so underutilized
Yeah.
and like, oh, I love that. That'd be sick.
Hmm. What's his name?
Oh, don't ask me that fucking name something.
I'm tossing it out for both of us. This is a
Uh,
group effort. You name it.
um, hmm.
I'll give us 30 seconds on the clock, okay?
Okay.
So brief talk about it. So we've got sun, we've got ocean, we've got eclipse, we've got barnacles, we've got fur, we have child of gods.
Yeah.
What kind of would it have a nautical-esque name due to being trapped under the sea for the majority of the time?
I think so. So something like I feel like it's gotta encompass the concept of the depths in some way.
Okay. Like trench in a sense?
Yeah.
Like how we have the Mariana Trench. It could be a trench-esque dragon. If it also embodies like the wildness and chaos of the sea, there's like torrent or
Mm,
trying to think of like natural disasters as well, because he literally is a natural disaster. This
it
dragon,
really is.
he's a natural
Yeah.
disaster waiting to happen.
It's giving the vibe of like torrents, downpours, uh fucking I don't know. Should we
Calamity,
round it back to
catalyst.
catalyst is a good oh. Oh. Can I Google words related to the word catalyst?
Absolutely, do
Or
that
we
shit.
could just have something that ends in a list. So like, mm,
Do you want to Google?
yep.
Yeah, you go Google.
Oh man,
Okay, so catalyst, catalyst at the end of it if we want that. Okay. I was gonna go Oceanalyst.
I mean, If we want to think like trenches, Trentalist?
Trentalis isn't bad. He was also born of the sunset/rise.
Yeah.
Could put like
So-
horizon in there somewhere. Horizonless.
Or Horizon. Horizon doesn't have a whole lot of like intense.
What's horizon in Latin?
It literally is just horizon.
Shit.
Yep. It's
What about
inherited from a Middle English word, orisonte, or orison, Orisoun.
oralist?
Oralist is good.
Kind of ties in coral as well. Coralist?
Yeah. So Orallyst. We can throw an apostrophe in there, right?
I am, just because I know what TTRPG tables are like, we have the word oral in it.
Fair. Nixing that right now.
Yeah. And
Got
I know players, I know viewers and listeners right now. I know how your dirty minds work.
Uh-huh.
I do like
Yeah, I don't
having
know.
like catalyst kind of vibe to it though.
Really? Yeah. Like, okay, Latin word for catalyst. There's got to be something we can use
There's
here.
got to be something. But in saying that, we also have the option of not naming it right now because we haven't named the other seasons. And I really want to challenge us one day because we have the idea to do a drug episode because why not?
Yeah.
One day, when we're confident and when we're ready, we're going to do a naming episode where we just go back and name everything. It's going to be
We
the
should.
most. It's going to be the
It's gonna
most.
be the most like fucking
like,
admin, just wrapping up loose ends. Most boring
Lavender's
shit.
going to hate us because we're going to be
Yep.
pausing so much in it. And
Sorry,
Love you.
So the Latin word for catalyst is derived from the Greek word catalysis, Katalylys, which means dissolution.
Like, I just off the one word I got colossal as well.
Yeah. So, maybe we could. I don't know if I wanted to start with a K though, because we already have Kato,
True.
which is also Kat.
Start with a C. If we wanted to. Catalyst. Ocean, sea, moon, sun. Can we throw eclipse in there? Eclipse?
That's what I'm thinking. Because we
Eclipse?
can get back around to eclipse. Let me see. Latin word for eclipse. Maybe we can mash these together. The Latin word for eclipse is eclipsis. God fucking damn it. But it starts Eklei. Ekli? Eklysis?
Eclysis?
Yeah, maybe that. So, Ekleysis. Eclysis.
I kind of like it.
I kind of like it too. I put it in the side chat. It's easier to see the side chat of where we're recording.
Yes.
Or that's Eclysis, but
Eclysis isn't bad either.
I kind of like it. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm actually happy with Eclysis. Or Eclysis.
Sick! Oh my god, we named something! Holy fuck! We got there.
We
got
did
there,
it.
Chat.
What the? Are
Please
we
applaud.
okay?
Man, I feel like I'm gonna nap for a week now.
I know. I'm feeling that. My God. But I think we should end on that high note, dude, because we're hitting about an hour. We're almost in.
Fantastic. All right. Well, sick. Do you want to take away the outro?
Absolutely. So, first of all, thank you guys for watching / listening this week. Hope you guys enjoyed us talking about our seasons and our new dragon season, which is apparently a thing now. But thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you guys hanging out and listening in and hopefully enjoying, because we're 8 episodes in now. This is episode 8,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy, which is filmed
on 10.
probably a few months ago now, depending on...
Yeah.
We've been recording bulk, my dudes. We're kind of crushing it. So...
Yeah.
it's kind of awesome. But if you guys want to check us out on other platforms, you can find myself at Odin_Sun on pretty much all platforms, aside from Twitch, where you can find me at officially Odie. I love D&D, TTRPGs. I'm an amateur voice actor trying to break into it a bit more. I'm also a podcast host now. Love that for myself. And
Yeah.
if you enjoy Pokemon of any kind, shiny hunting, games in general, lore, all that kind of stuff, I am an avid fan and love it very, very much. So you can find me on all those platforms. Love to hang out. Diana, where can they find you?
Oh man, yeah. Hi, I am Diana Faye, also known as Diana the Rose. I am a Twitch partner and member of the Latin Guild and Pride Guild. And I'm also a short form creator over on TikTok, Reels and Shorts. And then I also occasionally create the video over 10 minutes every now and then over on YouTube. So I do a little bit of everything. And of course, I'm a podcast host here, in accordance with Odie. Here at Worlds Apart. But beyond that, I am also a model, a social media platform consultant, a panelist at various conventions, an actual play performer, a live play performer, and I'm just around all the time, everywhere, doing a bunch of shit. So you can find me as at Diana the Rose, absolutely everywhere.
Hell yeah. And if you want to see more of us on Worlds Apart, you can follow us on all our other platforms. You can find us at Worlds Apart TTRPG on YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok. Where we're just going to be uploading a bunch of random clips, some other little insights that you might not see in recordings. So if you want to check us out there, go drop a follow. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah. And then shout out to our fantastic editor. We refer to her as Lab, but you can find her as at entity__edits over on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Blue Sky. She does amazing work, and you've definitely seen Entity edits all over the TTRPG space. So we absolutely love her. And then, Odie, you want to shout out our artist?
Absolutely, I do. If you have not heard of Toby.exe, what are you doing with your life? Toby.exe is our boy. He's the one who created our logo and any other art we really will have planned for Worlds Apart in the future. But you can find Toby at _Toby.exe_ on Instagram. And if you're looking for his other platforms like TikTok, Blue Sky, and YouTube, you can find him at simply Toby.exe.
Yeah.
But that is all for this week. We will see you guys in a couple of weeks for episode 9. We're almost in double digits.
God, that's so exciting. Holy shit.
And
God,
I feel
I'm
like
stoked.
we've done nothing. There's still so
Worlds
much.
are big. To be fair, we're starting big. We're starting with the fucking gods.
This is true. We've done well. With what we got, we've done well.
Go pat on the back.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you in a couple of weeks. Doses!
Bye.